12 passes today.
Finding the right bank can be transformative for your small business. The best bank for your business will offer competitive fees and so much more. At BNC National Bank, our team is proud to offer you a helpful, supportive, above and beyond banking relationship. Starting to stress about the complexities of qualifying for a small business loan? BNC can guide you through the process with much less stress and likely far more success. Speak to one of our team members today.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
It's water. Boom. Agent Winston Otter. He's been called the human sponge.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Points. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's the spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
When you think of North Dakota high school football teams on the Class B level, a few come to mind. The Aggies from Velva. The Hillsboro Central Valley Burros are another that come to the top of the list when you talk about dominating programs and teams that are a guaranteed competitor each and every year to get back into the Dakota Bowl. No different here in 2022, and the final two teams are about to be set in the 2022 season, and the two that will play for a state championship at the Dakota Bowl next Friday live at the Fargo Dome. We will have coverage of that, by the way, on the PSP Network. Today it's the 10-1 Hillsboro Central Valley Burros. They take on the undefeated 11-0 Velva-D-A-G. This is a matchup of region number 3 against region number 2 as these two teams try to make their way to Fargo next week for the state championship game. Good afternoon and welcome into Velva, North Dakota here in the Velva press box as we get set and ready for this matchup today. I'm Nick Holberg. Glad to have you folks here on the PSP Network. It is a chilly one today here in Velva, and the wind will be a factor as well, with two football teams that like to toss the ball around and have a gigantic part of that offense coming from the passing game. What will happen today in this showdown? Well, we're going to find out. This is our Shields pregame show. Shields of Minot and Bismarck bringing the pregame show today. Shields has everything you need from every sporting good underneath the sun to fishing and footwear, hunting gear, you name it, clothing, they have it all. It's Shields of Minot and Bismarck bringing you the pregame show here today for the showdown on the PSP network between two teams that have a combined record of 21-1 on the season. This is going to be a dogfight here today inside of 11B playoffs. How did we get to this point here in the 11B ranks in North Dakota high school football? Well, let's take a look at that bracket brought to you by Ackerman Esvold. Velva started things off with a win over Bowman County. They then got into the semifinals where they met up with Dickinson Trinity, a matchup. Both of those matchups we had on the PSP network. No trouble with Trinity last week as they get into the semifinals. Hillsboro had to go through Lisbon. Then they had to go through an Oaks team that was pretty tough as well, and they put up good numbers against Oaks. They actually had a shutout last weekend, winning 20-0 in that quarterfinal matchup. That sets up semifinal number 1 here today. Velva, Drake, Animus Garrison against Hillsboro Central Valley. Beulah takes on Central Cass as Central Cass upset number 1 Kindred last week, and a team that comes from Beulah that's going to be tough to beat as well in the semifinals as they went through Shiloh last week. Beulah had to go through Bishop Ryan in round number 1, and it's a Central Cass team that had to go through number 2 Botno in the opening round of the playoffs. There's a look at the bracket inside of 11B football in the state of North Dakota. This has been a fun ride here in 2022, and one game will decide who is going to move on and keep their season alive between the Aggies and the Burros here today. 9-man playoffs. There's more action across the state of North Dakota today. You can catch Chuck Claremont and Todd Domrey's. They're live in New Salem as we speak as they get ready for New Salem. Almont taking on North Prairie. Winner of that matchup will either take on Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion, or Cavalier. And you look at the bracket here, New Salem is going to be a tough team to beat in this playoff. So is North Prairie. So is Lemoore, Litchfield, Marion, and so is Cavalier. That's the beauty as the cream has really risen to the top here at the end of the year. Well, we had playoff action last night on the PSP network, and boy, what a ball game it was last night in Mandan. Mandan came out on fire. They led 21-6 at the half. Shanley just unhooked the plow at the end of the first half and into the second half of football. Shanley goes on to win 38-27. They upend Mandan. Mandan hasn't been to the Dakota Bowl ever. Last time they played for a state title, 1948, and the Braves are cursed again here in 2022. Century continues to be the Cinderella story in North Dakota high school football this year. They upset number 1 Cheyenne in the quarterfinals, 27-8. They get by Davies last night, 12-0, and it's Century, the number 8 seed, taking on Shanley in the 11 AA Dakota Bowl coming up next Friday. And then in the single A ranks, well, it's Fargo North and Jamestown. Jamestown trying to go back-to-back. First time since 1993 that they won a state championship last year, and now they're going to match up with the Spartans in the state championship game for 11 single A football playoffs coming up next week at the Fargo Dome. We will have coverage of the entire Dakota Bowl from start to finish next week. Hope you join us for that. We will have the full team on hand down in Fargo next week as we're looking forward to what should be a good one. Again, the Dakota Bowl, if you've never been to it, it is a great day of high school football action starting early in the morning, going into the late hours of the night. Myself, along with Chuck Claremont, Todd Domrey's, and Scott Woodmansey will have wall-to-wall coverage every matchup. Digital radio presentation of the Dakota Bowl next week. Hope you join us for that coming up next Friday again, live from the Fargo Dome in Fargo. Well, team captains meet at midfield here as the 10-1 Burros take on the 11-0 Velva-D-A-G today. As the captains meet at midfield, they'll have their conversation and the coin flip. When we come back to our Shields pregame show, we're going to dive further into the matchup here and the numbers of this one. There's some studs in this matchup today, and get ready for what could be a real entertaining football matchup. High-powered offenses on both sides. Both teams have real stingy defenses as well. Get ready for what should be a good one today on the PSP Network. More of the Shields pregame show to come when we come back to Velva. It's the Aggies and the Burros for a chance at the state championship matchup at the Fargo Dome next week.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Are you moving your business or your home across the town or across the country? We know it can be stressful. To ensure your possessions arrive on time, intact, and on budget, make your move with Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you with every aspect of your move. With our efficient step-by-step approach to move management, we can tailor a plan to suit your needs and schedule. With locations in Bismarck, Fargo, Minot, and Aberdeen, Jobbers Moving and Storage is your choice. Visit jobberswarehouse.com. It's Jobbers Moving and Storage.
I'm a grateful person on a lot of levels. I've been given so many great opportunities. But most of all, even as a little kid, I was taught a set of values. Like tools for life, hard work, responsibility, and the key to making it all work, commitment.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
Ackerman Esvold, your neighbors, friends, and family who are working for you. The local team with local availability and accountability for all of your engineering, architecture, environmental, transportation, and land development needs. Your project can rely on Ackerman Esvold. Find them online at ackermanesvold.com. When you start your project, talk with Ackerman Surveying and Associates. Our experienced surveying team guides you in the right direction with planning, platting, and lot and boundary surveys. The trusted name in land surveying, the trusted name in architecture and engineering is Ackerman Surveying and Ackerman Esvold. Find them at ackermanesvold.com.
What you're witnessing actually happens. This is a sad story about bad math.
Bad math?
Does your online company include mounting?
You can't beat the online pricing.
When you add the mounting, the shipping, and all the extras, it's just simple math. We guarantee the lowest prices. Our Plus plan is simply better, a less expensive way to buy tires. Thinking tires? Think Tires Plus.
This broadcast on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by
Here we go, where they get it into Doppler up the near side. 3, 2 second, 1 second. Doppler rises, right wing, 3, bingo! Oh! Anthony Doppler wins it at the buzzer! Oh! Are you kidding me? He turns, he fires, and he buries it!
This broadcast on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by
Get ready for what could be a dogfight today in the semifinals of 11B football as the Hillsboro Central Valley Burros come in at 10-1, taking on the Velva-D-A-G coming into the matchup today unblemished for their record on the season at 11-0. Welcome back into our Shields pregame show. Nick Holberg here on the call today on the PSP Network. Looking forward to this matchup here today between two juggernauts in North Dakota high school football when it comes to teams that you know are going to be in the mix at the end of the year. Shields offers clothing, footwear, and gear for all your passions from fishing to fashion. Shields is dedicated to offering you the best retail experience. Shop sporting goods, hunting and fishing gear, and so much more at Shields of Minot and Bismarck. They bring you the pregame here today as you see the Burros have their official introductions take place here in Velva, North Dakota at Larry Sandy Field. They've got some studs on this football team, and a couple of those kids we're going to watch for here today include the Olsons, Riley Olson and Landon Olson. Two kids that look to be big in this showdown. Riley Olson, the quarterback. 91 attempts for 502 yards on the ground for 9 touchdowns for him, averaging 45.6 yards per game coming on the ground. He's gone 47 for 89 in passing with 868 yards there. He scored 11 more touchdowns through the air. Quarterback rating of 173 on the season. Total yards for him per game, well, 124. He's going to have to be big today, especially in the wind with a 25-mile-an-hour wind. You can see the streamers really blowing there in the wind here today in Velva for the Velva starting lineups. Peter Drybarg is the top receiver here for Riley Olson. 4 touchdowns for him on the year through the air. Longthorn, 3 touchdowns on the season, averaging 35 yards per game. They will run the football today as well, and they've got some kids in the backfield that can do that. Landon Olson, 10 touchdowns on the ground through the season, and a player to watch for here today, averaging 92 yards per game. Cole Hebel, same thing for him. 11 more touchdowns on the season for him. 726 yards on the year. He's going to be a big factor in today's ball game as well. For Velva, well, we've heard about Ben Shep all season long. 14 touchdowns on the ground, 21 through the air. This kid is a player. He is going to be looking to see what he can do today for the Velva-D-A-G. He's only a sophomore. Trayson Eigelhart, one of his top receivers. Eigelhart with 7 touchdowns on the year. Preston Kraft has 6. They've got Peyton Bodine with 5 touchdowns on the ground, 5 more through the air, and then Braden Bossert's going to carry the football quite a bit today as well here for the Velva-D-A-G. Well, we're just about set, ready for our opening kickoff today, brought to you by our friends at the UPS store. The opening kickoff delivered by the UPS store, located in the Marketplace Foods Plaza for all your packing and shipping needs. It's the UPS store located on South Broadway. Open Monday through Saturday for your convenience. It's the UPS store, again, in the Marketplace Foods Plaza. Hillsboro Central Valley will be in white today. It's the Aggies from Velva that have blue and yellow on as we get set and ready for our opening kickoff. As Central Valley will boot things away to start things off here today, traveling from the right to the left on your TV screen, and a little pooch kick's going to come down the near sidelines, and falling on top of that one for the Aggies is Preston Kraft. And Velva will set up for the first time today, a second into the ball game with a first down and 10, and we get a look at the Velva offense coming back onto the field here in the semifinals that have done a fantastic job on the season of racking up touchdowns and some major yards. Unbeaten on the year with wins at 44-12 over Hazen. They beat Beulah 30-19, 40-8 over DLB, 50-14 over Nedrose, 56-6 over South Prairie. I mean, they've been a buzzsaw inside of region number 3. Here's the handoff over to the far side, trying to cut free and doing so all the way back up over the 40-yard line. And the Aggies are on the move early on here today as Trayson Eigelhart carries that one for a first down, and then some more as he's got the chains moving early here for the Velva-D-A-G. Eigelhart's a player that has been impressive on the season. 17 carries for 152 yards, averaging 8.9 yards per carry, and he has been very tough to contain across the board here for the Aggies in 2022. Here's the handoff to the near side. That one comes away to Bodine, and Bodine's got it here on the near sideline before he's wrestled out of bounds, so the defense makes the stop. Cole Hebel there to shut the door with the big man, Jack Manson. Brings up a second down. Brings up a second down and 10 coming here as there was no gain on the play. Well, we had a good one last night on the PSP Network. It was Mandan that took on Fargo Shanley. They had a matchup down in Mandan at the Starion Sports Complex. Shanley came out in the second half and dominated the Braves last night. Fun call with Todd Domrys, Chuck Claremont, and Scott Woodmansey. Look at this run up the far sideline. Eigelhart trying to cut free. High steps his way down past the 20 to the 10. Touchdown. Eigelhart took that one to the house, and the touchdown is there. The Aggies are on the board early here today. 1 minute, 1 second in, and Eigelhart's got another touchdown of the season, but more importantly for his club, the Aggies lead 6-0. Eigelhart again for the third week in a row has the first touchdown of the day. Just 1 minute, 1 second in to the showdown here today, and he ran that one all the way from his own 45-yard line, 55 yards to the house. 2-point conversion's good. Velva's on the board first, and they are moving right now here in Velva. Aggies lead 8-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. They come out and hit Hillsboro CV right on the mouth to start things off. It's high school football here on the PSP Network.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Aggies take the early lead here as Eigelhart from 55 yards out has Velva on the board first here today. They lead by a score of 8-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard, and they've got their fans engaged early on here today. BNC National Bank with locations throughout North Dakota, Minnesota, and Arizona. BNC National Bank provides you with banking and wealth management services for your business and family. Visit BNC Bank online at bnc.bank. Not much room there on the kick return coming back from the far side as the Velva defense comes up with the stop as Bowden Allen was shut down on the play. I'm sorry, that wasn't Bowden Allen. I do apologize. That was Mitzel on the return. We will see Bowden Allen coming up here. However, today's the kicker and punter here for the Burros. Offense is out here for the Burros. They have Hebel and Olsen in the backfield with Dryberg, Rage, Mitzel, and Longthorn as the targets here today for the quarterback, Riley Olsen. Hattelstead is the center here today, and that line of Baszler, Foss, Leal, and Swanson's going to be busy because they go against Kyle Sandy, Gabe Lackaduk, Peyton Bodine, Tyler Holdeman, and that linebacking crew of the Aggies that has Selzler, Bodine, and Eigelhart. Shep, Kraft, Bossert, Bruner are in the secondary. There's a gain of 5 on the play, and it will be a second down and 5 here for the Burros. Again, Nick Holberg on the call today. Thank you again for joining us here on the PSP Network. Big thanks to all those sponsors that make these games possible. Again, frankly, without them, we just wouldn't be here. Second down and 5 as the Burros go to work on the quarterback keeper, trying to push his way forward. Riley Olsen, he's going to pick up a gain of about 1 on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down coming here for Hillsboro. Well, if you're just joining us here today, it is a chilly one here in Velva. 43 degrees officially, but with a 25-mile-an-hour wind that just continues to howl here. It is chilly, a lot of snow pants and beanies on, winter jackets. I walked in today, and for the first time in the playoffs, I wore pants to the football field. And I'm happy to report for the first time all football season, I didn't even break a sweat coming up to the press box carrying all the PSP gear. That's how cold it is out here today. On the handoff, here's the big man running it forward, stopping him there. Hebel was shut down at the line. That's going to bring up a fourth down as the defensive coverage was there, and shutting the door was Trayson Eigelhart coming from that linebacker position. Again, another matchup today on the PSP Network, a doubleheader today as you've got 9-man semifinal action. North Prairie's at New Salem Almont. That game scoreless early on in the first quarter. From the shotgun with a wide out on the left, a wide out on the right, and one in the back. They're going to have to punt this one away. That's their special teams coverage, as this ball is going to come all the way back up to the Velva 40-yard line. Takes a bounce there, and the Aggie fans like it. They come to volume early on here in this one as the Aggies bring their offense back out, who are 1 for 1 on the day, courtesy of a 55-yard touchdown that was taken to the house by Trayson Eigelhart for his 8th touchdown of the year, coming just 1 minute, 1 second into the showdown here today. Big thanks to our friends at Premier Chiropractic. They bring you the matchup today as well on the PSP Network. Premier Chiropractic, ND.com. Here's the handoff, cut back, that one away for Bossert. He's going to pick up a handful on the play. And the Aggies offense moving here today. Well, when you have two high-powered offenses that like to throw the football and spread the field out, and the wind becomes a factor at 25 miles per hour here today, you know that might change the game plan just a bit. Will it for Larry Sandy here in his 33rd season as the head coach of the Aggies? How about this for an all-time record for Sandy? 281 wins. He's only been defeated 71 times in those 33 years. Unbelievable numbers for Larry Sandy. They named the field after him here in Velva. There's Shep. Oh, he's wrangled, hog-tied. Down in a hurry he went as Jack Manson came up for the stuff. Brings up a 3rd down now here for Velva. Ball marked at the 41-yard line. This ball set at the right hash with the Aggies moving from the west to the east here today in Velva, North Dakota. Just a beautiful venue for high school football down on the river bottom here in Velva. You got to come into the Velva Park here in the Star City. You go over a bridge to get across the river. Come down by the baseball field. It's just a beautiful place. Shep's going to fire here. Threw it out to the near side. Incomplete. That one was intended there as it was tossed out to Eric Martin, but incomplete. 4th down now here for the Aggies. They're going to look to punt this one back away. Mitchell's back to retrieve here for the Burros. Olsen will do some of that retrieving duty here today as well, and off to kick this one off for the Aggies from back in his own territory. Ball will be snapped, and it's Ben Shep that puts the boot on it. And Shep sends that one down the field, takes a Velva bounce all the way down to the 15-yard line, and that's where the Burros will set up with their second possession here of our first quarter of football. 8-0. Aggies are on top on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. BNC National Bank, again, your life is busy. We'll make managing your money easy. Locations in North Dakota and Arizona. Visit BNC Bank online, bnc.bank. Well, we've followed Velva through the playoffs so far this year. From rounds number 2 to 3, here to round number 4. And the Aggies are a team that have a lot of support to this community, and another full house today here at Larry Sandy Stadium. This ball is going to be run forward, taken down on the play after the run came there from number 24. That's the Burros' main gun back there. That's Cole Hebel. Talked about him earlier here today. 11 games, 135 carries for 726 yards on the season. 11 touchdowns to his name here in 2022. Both teams trying to get back to the Dakota Bowl. Hillsboro Central Valley was there last year. They lost to a Kindred team that was an absolute powerhouse inside of 11B. Kindred won that game 37-14, and the Burros trying to get back into the big dance again for another year. Here's the option pitch to the outside. Big stop from the Aggies as coming up with the stuff on the far side, trying to hit the edge on the pitch coming there was Landon Olsen, and he was denied and shut down there as Kyle Sandy made the stop from the tackle position there for the Aggies. We're down to 6 minutes on the dot right now to play here in the first quarter of football. Nick Holbrook again on the call. Thanks to Drew Carlson from the PSP Network for coming out in the conditions today to run our camera on the PSP Network. Chilly one here in Velva. They spread out the field now as it's taken here from Olsen. He rolls out to his right side. Olsen looks downfield, takes a shot, bombs it down. That ball's up. Is it caught? It's into the hands. And they're going to say that it is a completed pass up the far sidelines. Peter Dryberg was the one that caught it. And Dryberg's got the play of the game so far for the Burros. That's a big-time first down. And they move the ball all the way up near midfield. And it's a first down and 10 here for the Region 2 top team. Well, the wind might not be as big of a factor here today, tucked in down on the riverbed and in the valley, surrounded by trees here in Velva. As we saw that shot from Riley Olsen off to Dryberg, and Dryberg made the play. Ball's now marked at the 47-yard line. Hillsboro side of the field, that ball pitched back, it's on the ground, it's loose, there's a scrum for it. Aggies have the football. On top of it, coming up with it was Thomas Bodine. Bodine's got it, and the Aggies go back on offense. Big-time play there as that ball was pitched back, bobbled around by Landon Olsen. The Aggies recover as it went down onto the ground, and making the play for Velva, Thomas Bodine jumped on top of the football, and the Aggies have excellent field position here at the 39-yard line of Central Valley, Hillsboro. And it's a first down and 10 as Ben Shep spreads the field out again. Wide receivers on each side with two in the backfield. Shep fires over. He's got Eigelhart. He's got the touchdown here today. Makes a cut, now another. Eigelhart's going to break free. He's up ahead. And Eigelhart trying to make his way into the Serve Pro red zone. Not quite. Ball will be marked at the 25, but another first down here for Velva as the offense continuing to have their foot on the gas pedal. Well, we talk about Larry Sandy, the head coach of the Aggies, with a 281-71 record all time, 281 victories, state titles in 97, 2000, 2001, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2009, and 2010. Scott Olsen, no slouch either on the other side for Hillsboro. This is Bossert that ran it, and Bossert's tied up on the play. He's going to be tackled for a loss as the core of linebackers came up with the stop there for the Burros. That linebacking core today, by the way, Landon Olsen, Hafley, Hebel, and Kazette will be the ones that try to shut down Velva's run here today. Scott Olsen in his 12th year for the Burros. He's compiled a record of 106 wins and only 13 losses. How do you like that? 12 years and only 13 losses coming in to the semis here today. Ben Shep from the left hash, ball marked at the 26-yard line. Shep rolls out to his right, fires it forward. That one into the hands and then out. It was almost intercepted. Bruner was there, but the coverage from Landon Olsen was good enough to knock the ball down. And that brings up a third down and 11 here for the Aggies with 3 minutes and 39 seconds to tick away in our first quarter of football. And the Aggies lead on the BNC National Bank scoreboard 8-0. Well, we'll pack up and head to the Fargo Dome next Thursday. We'll have a Dakota Bowl preview show coming up Thursday night. Hope you join us for that. We'll also get ready for the Dakota Bowl starting on Friday morning. All 4 games on the PSP Network. Here's the option play for Shep. Bus freeze into the Serve Pro red zone, and deep he goes as Ben Shep faked the handoff, faked the pass, and then Shep just dances it in to the Serve Pro red zone. 24/7 emergency service, trained technicians, advanced technology, fire and water, cleanup and restoration at Serve Pro. Serve Pro red zone. Shep. Going to fall back here. He makes a spin move, and then he's hauled up. He had company right away as the Burros defense collapsed on top of him. And the one right on top that will get partial credit there, Hattlestead. And Caleb Hattlestead, one of those big men on the front row here today for the Burros, made the stop. 2:43 ticking away here at quarter number 1 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. It's Velva leading Hillsboro Central Valley 8-0. Update from down at New Salem today. North Prairie got on the board. So did New Salem. It's 8-6 down in New Salem here today. Chuck Claremont, Todd Domry's on the call there. Here's Shep, tried to scramble his way, but he's going to be tackled for the loss. As coming up with the stop there was Jack Matson. Matson shuts the door, and that's going to bring up a third down and roughly 15 to go here for the Aggies as they are going to be moved all the way back to the 20-yard line. When you look at what these two teams have been able to do on the year, going 10-1 and 11-0, the Burros had the one defeat on the season. They got beat by Kindred earlier on this year, and they got spanked by them in the second game of the year, 36-0. Since then, they haven't looked back. They've been tough to beat and contend with, and their defense has been good. There's a nice stop there. It's jumping up and getting the hand of the way was Peter Dryberg, and Dryberg knocked down the pass for Shep, and that brings up a fourth down. 4 shutouts posted on the year here for the Burros. They have been a team that hasn't liked to see their opposition score. And it's a Velva team that we talked about with what they bring to the table today and how big their wins have been on the year. They're a team that likes to put some points up. Closest game of the year for the Aggies was against Bishop Ryan, a big rivalry inside of region number 3. And you get on Highway 52 and go up to Minot. And the Lions and Aggies matchups are always big ones. That was 14-12, Velva won. Shep back to pass. They take a shot. Bodine in the end zone. That pass was in the hands and then out to turnover on downs as Velva can't convert with 90 seconds left here in the first quarter of football. And the Burros come back to the offense.
At the 20-yard line,
First and 10 here for the Burros. Plenty of kids on this football team. Rich tradition that we talked about. Last state title for them came in 2017. They've been to the Dakota Bowl 3 times since, but haven't had any success. The Burros spread the field out here. One wide on over on the far side, one on the near side. Handoff up the middle. Aggies defense with 3 of them there shuts the door. Shemp in on the tackle for Velva as the run was not there for Landon Olson as he was gobbled up. 1 minute 14 seconds ticks down here in quarter number 1. Big congratulations this week to Peyton Bodine of the Velva-Aggies. He was named our Player of the Week, brought to you by Jersey Mike Subs. Bodine, with his monster playoffs, was named the Jersey Mike's Player of the Week. Jersey Mike's is a sub above. Find them at North Broadway in Minot. They really are delicious. Olson hands off again, tried to cut free over to the right side, making a move. Now another. This is Landon Olson. Olson's up over the 40, and Olson's got himself a first down as he goes to the ground hard after he was tackled there by Peyton Bodine. And Landon Olson carries the football again for his 123rd attempt on the season. And he picks up more yardage here as he crossed the 1,000-yard marker earlier on this year with 1,016 yards to his name coming in to the state semifinals. Play call is going to be run in here coming from the near sidelines. That's Jacob Brandt that brings it in. And now the Burros go to work from the left hash. One on the make that the tight end over on the far side. 2 on the left, handoff again. And it's Hebel that's going to be shut down at the line of scrimmage. Door was slammed in a hurry on him as the defensive stop was there, and making the play was Kyle Sandy. Well, we're through 1 quarter of football here on the PSP Network here today, and it's Velva that leads Hillsboro Central Valley by a score of 8-0. Quarter number 2 comes up next on the PSP Network. It's been what we thought it would be so far, and that's a hard-hitting dogfight today in the state semifinals.
Bank can be transformative for your small business. The best bank for your business will offer competitive fees and so much more. At BNC National Bank, our team is proud to offer you a helpful, supportive, above and beyond banking relationship. Starting to stress about the complexities of qualifying for a small business loan? BNC can guide you through the process with much less stress and likely far more success. Speak to one of our team members today.
What you're witnessing actually happens. This is a sad story about bad math.
Bad math?
Does your online company include mounting?
You can't beat the online pricing.
When you add the mounting, the shipping, and all the extras, it's just simple math. We guarantee the lowest prices. Our Plus plan is simply better, a less expensive way to buy tires. Thinking tires? Think Tires Plus.
Well, you take a look at that Velva sideline and some of those coaches that have been around for quite some time. The one that you saw with his hat off, Casey Kwame, grew up playing in the program, but now is one of the coaches here for the Aggies. Lots of familiar faces when you come out here to Velva. Same thing you would see in Hillsboro with you go watch the Burros play on their home field. That rich tradition inside of North Dakota high school football and the community involvement and what it means for these teams to have success and to be able to be teams each and every year that try to hang a banner always makes it that much more intriguing when you show up to a matchup like this. Hillsboro spreads the field out now as the ball's marked here at the 42-yard line. Two wideouts on the right, one on the left. Olsen back to pass, rushed out of the pocket. Modine's on top of him. Modine takes him down, and the quarterback sack was there as Peyton Modine tracked down Riley Olsen and took him to the dirt. First minute of play complete here in quarter number 2. 11 on the dot to play in the second half, and Modine's got a quarterback sack to his name. Came into the quarterfinals with 37 tackles. Adds more to that resume last week in the quarters. He and Hank Modine, a pair that are usually good for a few each and every time this team steps out on the football field. Hillsboro forced to punt. It's a 4th down and 10. They're inside their own territory at the 41. The boot goes on to it. And Bowden Allen towers that one all the way down to the other side of the field where a fair catch is called. And the fair catch is going to be taken there by the Aggies. And we'll have a 1st down and 10 coming here for Velva as that ball was towered back to Eichelhardt, who's got the only touchdown so far here in the ballgame. That happened 1 minute, 1 second into this showdown here today as he took it from 55 yards out of the first drive for the Aggies, and they got on the board and scored. Here's the Aggies with 10:25 left in the first half of football. They set it up. Ben Shep fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it here. He's going to pick up 3 on the play roughly, and Shep goes down after the tackle made by the bigs on the front row, including big number 57 there for the Burros, Jake Swanson, shutting the door. Well, last week was a busy week for the PSP Network. We had the District 12 volleyball tournament on the air Monday night, and it was a District 12 championship that belonged to our Redeemers. They took down Bishop Ryan last week. The pitch came back to Modine. He's gobbled up, and the stop was made as Jake Swanson stood over top of Modine and gave him some words after he put him down to the ground. 8-0. Aggies are on top. No secret here that there's going to be some emotions in this showdown here today, as you would expect, as the temperature rises high from underneath those helmets, but it's a cold day here in Velva today, and one that has so much riding on it. All those 2-a-day practices, all the youth football, all the football camps, all the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears boils down to a single game and 48 minutes to get you into the Dakota Bowl. We're going to have a flag on the play, I do believe, or is it a timeout? It's a timeout on the field. Velva calls one here with 9 minutes and 6 seconds left in our first half of football. Aggies want to talk things over with head coach Larry Sandy. We'll take a break as well here on the PSP Network. Got ourselves a good one today in Velva. This is North Dakota High School football and 11B playoff football semifinal coverage on the PSP Network.
Right bank can be transformative for your small business. The best bank for your business will offer competitive fees and so much more. At BNC National Bank, our team is proud to offer you a helpful, supportive, above and beyond banking relationship. Starting to stress about the complexities of qualifying for a small business loan? BNC can guide you through the process with much less stress and likely far more success. Speak to one of our team members today.
Today's matchup on the PSP Network is brought to you in part by Roger Ward Moving and Storage. Roger Ward Moving and Storage has been proudly serving the region with moving and storage needs since 1942, or solutions for their needs, I should say. There's Shep, fires it out to the flat. He's got Eigelhart. Eigelhart's going to gain some big-time yards after the catch and the initial tackle, and he's up over the 35 for a first down here for the Aggies. Once again, Roger Ward Moving and Storage. You can find them online, RogerWardMovingandStorage.com. Schedule a move or find a quote at Roger Ward Moving and Storage. They bring you the showdown here today along with our friends at Northern Plains Heating and Air. Northern Plains Heating and Air has over 25 years of experience as your heating and air experts. Factory authorized dealer for AeroSeal. It's Northern Plains Heating and Air. You can find them online, northern-plains.com. The only choice to seal your heating and air game is Northern Plains Heating and Air. 8-0 Aggies are on top here in this one as Eigelhart scored with 1:01 complete in the ball game. They scored on the opening possession of the day. That's the only score to report so far here in this showdown. Aggies line up from the right hash. There's a motion man. That's Eigelhart. They give it to him. Eigelhart's going to cut back, trying to find a seam up on that offensive line there for Velva. But the defensive stop was made as coming up was Kazant, and Caden Kazant shut the door. Under 8 to play. Here the first half of football. By the way, Hub International Insurance is there for all your personal and business insurance needs. Hub is a leading North American insurance brokerage. You can contact Josh Cattell or Michael Borman at Hub International Insurance for your personal or business insurance needs. It's 355-3100 Hub International Insurance. Shep leads it out over to the near side. Eigelhart was there, just overthrew him a bit, and it's an incomplete pass, and it brings up a fourth down here for the Aggies. Will Larry Sandy gamble on this one? I would have to assume he's probably going to put a foot on the football and punt this one away, but they do have Shep as the punter that can get creative from time to time. Mitzel back to retrieve. Shep's going to take it here, and Shep will put the boot on it. That one's going to tower up all the way to the 30-yard line. Mitzel caught it. Mitzel's going to try to break free. Mitzel's up over the 40 before he's hauled down to the play. And the stop from the Aggies came there from number 73, Anthony Binninger. Well, Mitzel's a player on the season that's had some offensive opportunities, and a guy that they use in the special team situations. He plays as one of the running backs here for the Burros from Hillsboro Central Valley. They play inside of region number 2. They went 8-0 inside the region. 4-0 on the road coming into today. Velva trying to hand Hillsboro their first loss on the road this season. Hillsboro spreads the field down again as they work from the left hash, just over the 40-yard line. Handoff comes here, trying to make a cut. That's Hebel. He's going to be clobbered there as Bodine was on top of him. Coming in for the stop as well there for Velva. In hot pursuit on the secondary hit was Hank Bodine. Peyton and Hank come up with a stop there for the Aggies, and it brings up a second down and a loss on the play. It's going to be a second down at 14 here for the Burros. Well, if you remember back to the Dakota Bowl last year, Kindred and Hillsboro Central Valley played for the 11B title. A lot of blue and white on the field that day, and it was Kindred that had the crown. I'm sure all the Central Valley Hillsboro fans know that all too well. Ball's going to be fired out over to the flat on the far side. Incomplete is the call on the play, as that one went into the hands of Longthorne, but it's going to be incomplete. Longthorne on the season has 3 touchdowns, 320 yards, averaging 35 yards per game coming into the showdown here today. And Longthorn's one that will get the ball again here before this grudge match is done. That's Micah Longthorn, number 19. 6 minutes, 35 seconds is what remains here in the first half. Stick around for our Premier Chiropractic halftime report. Premier Chiropractic focused on improving the overall health of Minot and the surrounding areas with the most cutting-edge advances in natural health care today. Olsen had time in the pocket. Now he's going to be hounded there and brought down for a sack, as Olsen had nowhere to go as the Velva defense shuts the door again. And that time Tyler Holdeman comes up and says, I don't think so. Hillsboro Central Valley is going to be forced to punt this one away as they lose yards on the play again. It's a 4th down and 18 with the ball marked at the 35-yard line on the Burros side of the field. And from the left hash, they're going to have to boot this one away. Engelhart back to retrieve here for the Aggies. He waits for it back at the 35-yard line on the other side of the field. This ball is going to be towered up as Bowden Allen sends that one down, takes a Hillsboro bounce, and it just bounced laterally there. And it will be Velva that comes back onto the field for the offensive possession with a first down at 10. Big thanks again to all those fans out there watching the ball game here today. If you haven't already done so, make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. Take your phone out now and head to PSP Network on Twitter and Facebook. Like and follow. The more subscribers, likes and follows and shares that PSP Network gets, the more promotion for these local athletes, and that's our mission. Across the middle, that one towered up. It was intended there for Reggie Bruner, but the coverage was there on the play, and Dylan Mitzel shut the door there for the Burros. 8-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Velva's on top. People checking in from all over the place here today, tuned into North Dakota high school football and a big-time showdown with the winner moving on to the state championship at the Fargo Dome next week. If you've never been to the Dakota Bowl, we highly recommend making the trip to Fargo. It's a full day of football and a fun one. Shep on the keeper, look out. Here comes the big steam engine right there, and taking him to the ground, Jake Swanson. And Swanson shut the door. 5.5 to play in the first half. Aggies are now forced to see a 3rd down. And along, what do they have here? It's going to be a 3rd down and 14 to go. As the ball marked on the 32-yard line of the Aggies. Sound like a broken record talking about Velva and what they've been able to do. But their Dakota Bowl appearances since the Dakota Bowl was formed, 97, 2000, 01, 03, 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10. They've never lost in the Dakota Bowl. That ball's going to be thrown away as Shep was hauled up. And a hard hit over on the far sideline for Shep. As coming in with the stop was Peter Dryberg. And Dryberg shut him down, and Shep just a bit slow to get up after that play. Well, a bunch of players in this lineup today are playing both ways here in this ball game. Offense and defensive starters. We saw it last night in the Double-A game. Fargo Shanley wore Mandan out to the second half with their hurry-up offense. And Mandan had a lot of two-way players on the field last night, and I think that really was kind of the storyline as they ran out of gas last night. This ball is going to be taken and punted all the way back to the 40-yard line. It's going to roll and take a Velva bounce down inside the 30. And the Burros are going to set up on offense again. 4:41 left here in the first half of football. Hillsboro Central Valley comes back to the offense. Such a key piece to that, the conditioning and how much man power you have, especially at playoff time. How healthy can you stay? How healthy can you be? And how much adversity can you play through is really one of those questions. And you see both of these teams with a strong lineup and two of the best teams left in the state of North Dakota. Velva ranked 2, Hillsboro Central Valley ranked number 3, coming into the showdown today here in the semifinals. Lineups that feature their top talents on a cold day here at Larry Sandy Field in Velva, North Dakota. Spread offense again, one in the backfield. Ball's going to be taken here. Look out. That ball's going to be blocked. Sandy went up and put the arm in the way, and Sandy knocked it down from that left tackle position. As rolling out was Riley Olson. They had a man open downfield. Cody Rage was looking for his first reception of the day, but Sandy shut the door for the Aggies. 8-0. Velva's on top. 4:37 left here. You can tweet at us at Network PSP and let us know who you think today's player of the game is. Brought to you by our friends at Sport Clips. Sport Clips in Minot and Bismarck, the home of the MVP haircut experience. A lot of football left to play in this one before we get to that point in our postgame show today. Olsen cuts free. The quarterback's up over the 35-yard line. And a gain of 11 yards on the play brings up a first down here for the Burros. Big thanks again to our friends at Planet Pizza. They bring you the showdown today. Planet Pizza has been proudly serving the Magic City for over 25 years with the largest laser tag playground in the region. Mouth-watering pizza and chicken wings. Don't forget about that 30-inch pizza. It's called the Galactic. They really are out of this world. You can call and order now if you're in the Magic City. 852-1700. It's Planet Pizza. Under center, here is Olsen. Velva might have jumped. There's no flag on the play. Ball's handed off. And short gain here of about 2 as that one was carried by Landon Olsen. As Olsen, that would be Riley Olsen, the quarterback, almost got the Aggies to jump, but they got back in position before the flag was thrown. Second down at 8. 3:40 left here in the first half of the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Aggies are on top. We're in the second quarter of football. From the left hash, Burros set up under center here from Adelstead. It's Olsen calling the shots. Takes the handoff, then he's going to keep it. Look out, he's going to be tanked again by Bodine coming in and making the play as Peyton Bodine came in and slammed the door again. Hank and Peyton Bodine doing their part here today for the Aggies. They're going to force a 3rd down and 10 as that ball is going to travel back to the original line of scrimmage, and it brings up the 3rd down and 10 situation here with under 3 minutes ticking down in our first half of football. Burros looking for some points to put on the board as their offense has been hemmed in just a bit by the Velva defense here in the semis. A new look here for the Burros. They go 3 on the right side, 1 on the left. That ball's going to be thrown downfield. Is there pass interference on the play? And it's going to be called clean. No pass interference, and that draws a 4th down as the Velva defense shuts the door again. Well, it's been played clean so far here today. I don't know that we've had a penalty yet in the ball game. I haven't marked one on my score sheet yet as this game continues to tick on with 2:33 left here in our first half. Burros forced to punt again. Bowden Allen's going to send this one up to Eigelhart. Eigelhart's run these back 3 times on the season for touchdowns. Can he get another one here right now? He's going to have a shot at it as that ball's going to go over his head. Oh, it takes a big time Hillsboro bounce all the way down inside the 10-yard line. And Bowden Allen doing his part here for the Burros as he towered that one down all the way to the other end of the field. Velva gets the ball back when we return. It's high school football on the PSP Network. Eigelhart's going to return the football from his own 15-yard line on the opening kickoff of the contest, and the Aggies are in the house for 6. Bob to the races, all the way up the far sideline, trying to break free. It's Eigelhart all the way to the house for a touchdown. Here come the Aggies back on the offense with 2:22 left here in this first half of football as it's taken by Shep on the keeper. Trying to bust his way free. Does. He's up over the first down marker. And Ben Shep continues to impress as one of the top quarterbacks inside of 11B football with another Velva first down. Great atmosphere here today in Velva as we came through the city park and showed up at Larry Sandy Field. See all those cars in the background over on the far side of the football field with the people set up inside their vehicles, enjoying this showdown in the heat to the comfort of those vehicles here today stands are full as well, as there isn't an open seat in the place. As that pass completed out to Eigelhart. Wow, did he really work for the extra yardage there, as he's going to fall forward for just about a 7-yard gain. And it brings up a second down, closer to a 6-yard gain. Second down and 4 coming here with 1:43 left in our first half. Great atmosphere here, like we talked about again today. And playoff football, what you'd expect in North Dakota. The only thing missing on this cold day today is a little bit of snow on the ground to really put the exclamation point on it. On the fake, there goes Ben Shemp. Another first down, and Shemp on the carry again continues to impress there as he faked to his left and then just ran it right. And Ben Shemp on another carry continues to add to his stat line. 86 carries on the year for 580 yards coming into today. 14 touchdowns on the ground. He'll fall back to pass here, however. He's got company in the pocket. Rolls out over towards the left side. Tried to throw it over to the far sideline, and that ball's going to be thrown to the ground. Incomplete with 83 seconds left here in the first half. Brings up a second down and 10. Ball's on the 39-yard line. Over on the right hash here for the Aggies as they go back into the huddle. They take the play call. As running the call in was Eric Martin, the senior. Martin's going to go over to the far left side. 2 wideouts on the right side, 2 on the left. As there's one in the backfield, and it's Shep. They're going to try to take a shot again. Quick hitter comes here into the hands of Bossert. Makes a cut now. Another. Bossert's got a first down and more. Bossert all the way up to the 45-yard line of the Burros, and a big-time play there. And the Aggies have the motor turning now as 1:16 remains here in this first half of football. And the Aggies have another first down and 10. 2 wideouts on the right this time. 1 on the left from the right hash. Shep back to pass. Fires across. Complete. And that one's into the hands of Eigelhart. And it's another Velva first down as they march down towards the Serve Pro red zone. Serve Pro. Fire and water, cleanup and restoration at Serve Pro. For all your fire, water, cleanup and restoration needs at Serve Pro coming to the rescue. Timeout on the field. The Burros are going to call a timeout to talk things over, trying to stop the war wagon that is Velva right now as they march the ball down the field. 1:06 is what remains in the first half, and right now it's the Aggies with all the momentum.
PSP Network has one mission: promoting local athletes. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network. It's game day.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Well, a good look at the Central Valley Hillsboro sidelines here. They made the trip. Not an easy trip. That's some time on the bus here today, coming across North Dakota Prairie here for the semifinal showdown. They've done a nice job containing Velva's offense here today, but the Aggies are on the move with 1:06 remaining in the first half. Shep on the keeper. He's going to run forward for another gain. Oh, Shep dropped the football. It's on the ground. Who's going to come up with it? As Shep bent awkwardly after he had his legs taken out. Which way will they point here? And it is Hillsboro Central Valley football, as the one that fell on top of that one was Jake Swanson. And Swanson comes up with the fumble recovery. And now it's first down and 10 for the Burros, going back the other direction. Well, you don't see that from Ben Shep many times on the year. Coming into today's game, 86 carries. He's only fumbled the football 5 times. He took a wicked hit there, and that's going to cause the fumble. And the Burros are going to come back to the offense now, here with Riley Olson, seeing if he can put some points on the board to end our first half. Under a minute to play in the opening half. The Burros trailing Velva. Drake Adamus Garrison by a score of 8-0. This ball's pitched back. Landon Olson up the far side. He's taken down, and that brings up a second down. They do gain a little over a yard of the play. And a second down, and where they officially mark it, will it be 9 or 8? They call it 8 here in Velva. Well, we had the opportunity to catch up with Josh Cattell, speaking of Garrison and Garrison primetime athletes. Cattell was a stud for the Troopers back in the early 2000s, went on to play professional football after his time at Jamestown. This ball's going to be carried, cutting it free. This is Landon Olson up over the 50 to the 40-yard line, dives forward to the 35, and with 15 seconds remaining here in the first half, the biggest run so far for Landon Olson puts them into scoring position almost here, as the Burros are going to call another timeout here with 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Landon Olson with a big run. More on Josh Cattell, the former coach of the Bison, when we come back to the PSP Network. Another opportunity here for Hillsboro Central Valley, trying to put some points on the board, trailing 8-0 here to the Aggies. That brings the Velva fans to their feet as they look for a big stop to end the first half of football. Trips on the left, one wide receiver on the right. Olson from the shotgun, falls back to pass. They're going to take a shot. Sandy's on top of Olson. Bodine's in hot pursuit. Bodine over to the far side, and Bodine strips the football. It's going to be picked up here by the Aggies. Is that a live ball? It's not, as Bodine came up. Boy, did he use the jackhammer to get that football free as he was in hot pursuit behind Riley Olson. Just hammered the arm from behind. The ball went down to the ground, and the Aggies with a gigantic stop to end our first half of football brings the score to 8-0 at the Premier Chiropractic halftime report. What a play that was to end it. We're through 24 minutes with 24 more to go here in the Star City, and right now it's the home team, the Aggies, trying to get back to the Dakota Bowl, trying to see if they can add another state title to their resume. It's been a while since Velva's done that, all the way back to 2010, when the early 2000s were absolutely dominated by the blue and yellow. Time for our Premier Chiropractic halftime report. Premier Chiropractic focused on improving the overall health of Monmouth and the surrounding areas with the most cutting-edge advances in natural health care today. Find them online, premierchiropracticnd.com. Let's go to the break with our first half stats when we come back to Velva.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Are you moving your business or your home across the town or across the country? We know it can be stressful. To ensure your possessions arrive on time, intact, and on budget, make your move with Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you with every aspect of your move. With our efficient step-by-step approach to move management, we can tailor a plan to suit your needs and schedule. With locations in Bismarck, Fargo, Minot, and Aberdeen, Jobbers Moving and Storage is your choice. Visit jobberswarehouse.com. It's Jobbers Moving and Storage.
I'm a grateful person on a lot of levels. I've been given so many great opportunities. But most of all, even as a little kid, I was taught a set of values. Like tools for life, hard work, responsibility, and the key to making it all work, commitment.
First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
Ackerman Esvold, your neighbors, friends, and family who are working for you. The local team with local availability and accountability for all of your engineering, architecture, environmental, transportation, and land development needs. Your project can rely on Ackerman Esfold. Find them online at ackermanesfold.com. When you start your project, talk with Ackerman Surveying and Associates. Our experienced surveying team guides you in the right direction with planning, platting, and lot and boundary surveys. The trusted name in land surveying, the trusted name in architecture and engineering is Ackerman Surveying and Ackerman Esfold. Find them at ackermanesfold.com.
What you're witnessing actually happens. This is a sad story about bad math.
Bad math?
Does your online company include mounting?
You can't beat the online pricing.
When you add the mounting, the shipping, and all the extras, it's just simple math. We guarantee the lowest prices. Our Plus plan is simply better, a less expensive way to buy tires. Thinking tires? Think Tires Plus.
This broadcast on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by
Here we go, where they get it into Doppler up the near side. 3, 2 second, 1 second. Doppler rises, right wing, 3, bingo! Ho-ho! Anthony Doppler wins it at the buzzer! Ho-ho-ho! Are you kidding me? He turns, he fires, and he buries it!
This broadcast on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by
Premier Chiropractic brings you the halftime report to the semifinals of North Dakota 11B football. 8-0. Aggies are on top of this showdown here today. Premier Chiropractic, by the way, is focused on improving the overall health of Minot and the surrounding areas through the most cutting-edge advances in natural health care today. You can visit Dr. Kirk Mason, Dr. Coney Haugen, and Dr. Becky Perry Dobries at PremierChiropracticND.com. Premier Chiropractic, our family's choice for chiropractic care in the Magic City. Well, I don't know if you could see it or not, but the rain/sleet starting to come down here in Velva, and that's going to make things interesting here for our second half of football as Mother Nature played nice through the first 4 rounds or first 3 rounds of the 11B, and today she's not playing as nice. It's Velva on top, 8-0, and things are going to get interesting as the football field starting to become wet here in the second half. Well, here's your recap of the scoring from the first half. This will go quick and easy because there's only one score to report. 61-yard pitch and catch from Shep Teigelhart. He ran it down the far left sidelines all the way to the house for the touchdown. The 2-point conversion was good. And again, Teigelhart continues to impress. That was touchdown number 8 on the season for him. And Velva took an early lead just a minute 1 into the ball game, and nobody has scored since. Defensively, both teams have played very well here in this ball game in the first half. What will we see coming from the coaches Scott Olson for the Burros and Larry Sandy for the Aggies coming into half number 2? It's going to be interesting to see what kind of changes are made as Velva, the way that they work and the way that they've operated with Shep as the option play, and that little bubble screen has seemed to work well here today in this showdown. 8-0 Aggies are on top here in the state semifinals. Don't forget, we've got Dakota Bowl coverage from wall to wall coming up next Friday. Don't miss a single play. You can join myself, Nick Holberg, along with Chuck Claremont, Todd Domries, and Scott Woodmansey live from the Fargo Dome. We'll have digital radio coverage of every single game from the Dome coming up next Friday. Taking a look at the AA playoffs and what happened last night across the state. These playoff pictures are brought to you by Ackerman Esfold. Ackerman Esfold, proud supporter of North Dakota High School Athletics. Century gets into the big dance. They are the Cinderella story here for 2022 as they come in as the number 8 seed and they take down number 1 Cheyenne in the quarters. They go through Davies last night and win 12-0. They've got a matchup here with Shanley. 8-3 in the state of North Dakota after Shanley beat Mandan last night 38-27, and they ran through Minot on the opening night to the playoffs 42-14. There's a look at the AA. Can Century keep the Cinderella season alive after they started at 0-5 on the year? In single A football, Fargo North had to climb through Valley City and their Fargo South crosstown rivalry last night. North got the win. Jamestown had to beat Grand Forks Central. Then they took care of Red River last night as the Grand Forks schools were laid to rest in the single A playoffs. So Jamestown looks to go back-to-back as they take on Fargo North in the 11A playoff picture. In 11B football, that's where you're locked into today. Velva, Drake, Animus, Garrison, and Hillsboro Central Valley. If you're just joining us, 8-0 Aggies have the lead at halftime. Beulah takes on Central Cass today in the other semifinal. We'll see if we can get some updates from those matchups here today. And a 9-man playoff football. Lemoore, Litchfield Marion takes on Cavalier in the semifinals. It's North Prairie down in New Salem taking on New Salem Almont, and that game is on the PSP Network. Todd Domries, Chuck Claremont have the call. Todd Domries and Chuck Claremont have the call on that one. You can find it on the PSP Network here today. Well, we're at half. Teams are coming back onto the field as the Burros look to see if they can come back in this one. The Aggies lead by a score of 8-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. This is our Premier Chiropractic halftime report. Again, Premier Chiropractic, our family's choice for chiropractic care in the Magic City. Find them online, premierchiropracticnd.com. Rain is starting to fall here in Velva. It's going to make things interesting when the second half begins in just about 2 minutes. Semifinal coverage on the PSP Network of North Dakota. High school football is brought to you once again by these fine sponsors here on the PSP Network.
Broadcast on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by
Ackerman Esfold, your neighbors, friends, and family who are working for you. The local team with local availability and accountability for all of your engineering, architecture, environmental, transportation, and land development needs. Your project can rely on Ackerman Esfold. Find them online at ackermanesfold.com. When you start your project, talk with Ackerman Surveying and Associates. Our experienced surveying team guides you in the right direction with planning, platting, and lot and boundary surveys. The trusted name in land surveying, the trusted name in architecture and engineering. is Ackerman Survey and Ackerman Esfold. Find them at AckermanEsfold.com.
Many of our clients come to us already accomplished in their lives and on the right track. However, whether it's in response to a life-changing event or you are nearing retirement, you can sleep well knowing that together we have planned for both life's opportunities and challenges. And no matter what happens, we are here to help guide you.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Points. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's the spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Oh, easy, easy. I think I'm good. You got my good side, right? Not too many lights. I don't want to get fried before my time. Oh, it's egg-tastic. You never know what dish you're going to end up in. My dream dish is a 99. It's so popular. Me and a fellow egg tag teaming with some crispy golden hash browns. Have you seen those hash browns? Those guys are shredded. Throw in some diced ham, onions, and melted cheese. Oh, it's a party for your taste buds. Oh, here comes Chevy. Hold on, Chevy. Did you guys get everything that you needed? 99. Here I come. Shots Crossroads. It's an excellent place to eat.
The magic of what we do really comes down to combining different aspects of patient care. Here at Premier Chiropractic, we love combining soft tissue work, the adjustment, and exercises together. We found that this gets the best results for our patients. We have 3 chiropractors to fit the needs of the entire family, a rehab area for our exercises and equipment for any athlete to improve performance. Give us a call and we will get you back to doing what you love.
Well, the windshield wipers are on here in Velva as you see some of that rain and maybe a little bit of snow starting to come down as well as it drizzles here in the semifinals in a playoff matchup between the Aggies and the Burros here today on the PSP Network. It is showtime for our second half of football here today. Again, thanks for joining us on the PSP Network. Nick Holberg, glad to be here for the call. I'm bundled up today, winter jacket, the Carhartt hat on here today, as to be expected because it is just a bit brisk here today in Velva, North Dakota. Time for our second half of football. The Aggies kick off to the Burros, and we're underway for our second half. The Burros are in white. If you're just joining us, Aggies are in blue and yellow, and we're underway here for our third quarter of football on the PSP Network. This third quarter of football brought to you in part by our friends at Prestwich Orthodontics. Prestwich Orthodontics is a proud supporter of North Dakota high school athletics. Prestwich specializes in braces, Invisalign, and Spark Clean aligners for all ages. We offer free consultations and financing options to make it easy to take your smile to the next level. Call 852-2646 or visit mineandbraces.com to get started with a free virtual consultation. It's Prestwich Orthodontics. Handoff again, and not much there as the big man shut down. Landon Olson went right into that Velva line, and Olson was shut down on the spot as Sandy and company come up with the stop on the front row. Big thanks again to Premier Chiropractic bringing you our halftime report. PremierChiropracticND.com. Again, our family's choice for chiropractic care in the Magic City. I see Dr. Kirk Mason. My wife sees Dr. Cody Haugen. But our little 2-year-old Ike likes to see Dr. Becky Perry Domries. Here's a run and a gain coming as the quarterback keeps it. And Riley Olson is going to fall near that first down marker. Will it be a first down coming here for the Burros? It sure will. Aggies fans, you hear them? They didn't like that call very much, did they? As to be expected. Emotions run high here today in Velva. That's because the winner moves on into the Dakota Bowl and the state championship game. Loser will have their season come to an end here today. Spread offense again. One on the left, one on the right, two in the backfield. From the left hash, Olsen going to work here. Hands the football off, and there's a gain on the play there as it's taken from Landon Olsen. And Olsen's going to pick up a nice gain of just about 4 on the play. Brings up a second down at 6. Well, we knew it was going to be rowdy today at Velva, and that's what we have with the fans trying to get back to the Dakota Bowl. Talked about the state championship that came last for the Aggies, 2010. And when they rattled them off like jumping jacks back in the early 2000s, that's been quite some time now. The Aggies want to get back there here this year. Landon Olsen had the fake. It goes back over to the far side, and another gain for the Burros as they run it over to the far sideline. Brings up a third down at 3 here for Hillsboro Central Valley. You look at this co-op between Velva, Drake, Adamus, and Garrison. Stationed here in Velva, going by the Aggie name. It's quite a drive if you have to come from Garrison every single day here to Velva to play high school football with the Aggies, but certainly a co-op that you'd like to have. Back to that conversation about Josh Cattell, the former standout at Garrison when he played for the Troopers in the early 2000s. He went on to play at Jamestown for the Jimmies, the starting quarterback and an All-American there. Landon Olsen ran the ball forward for another first down. Josh Cattell then went on to play in Germany, playing professional football in Germany. Came back to North Dakota, had stops at Botno and Minot State as an offensive coordinator before he got a job with the NDSU Bison as the quarterback coach there. Then Jamestown came knocking on the door and he became the head coach of the Jimmies before he went back to NDSU. Now Josh Cattell no longer coaching football. He helps us on the PSP network as a color commentator and working at Hub International Insurance down in Bismarck. You can give him a call today at Hub International Insurance. PR Michael Borman can help you with your business or personal insurance needs. 355-3100 Hub International Insurance. Yeah, he was a monster for the Troopers back in his time in the early 2000s. Garrison used to play against Velva. Now they're on the same team. Hillsboro used to just be by themselves before they were with Central Valley. They had Dakota Bowl appearances in 96 and 2008. Here's a quick hitter. This one's going to come into the possession here for it on the run. Dryberg, and Dryberg's going to be hauled up after he gains just about 5 on the play. And a nice little pitch and catch coming there from the Burros. Big thanks again to Northern Plains Heating and Air. They have over 25 years of experience as your heating and air experts. Factory authorized dealer for AeroSeal. No other choice for your heating and air game to have that sealed than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Find them online, northern-plains.com. I don't know if they're working on Saturday here, but we could use a heat duct in this place. One of my favorite press boxes for high school football, but it is chilly here today. Oh no, the quarterback threw it away to nobody. Ball's going to be picked up here, and Ben Shep on the defense takes it to the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown. Oh my goodness, Ben Shep on the quarterback miscue. Somebody misread the play as Riley Olsen pitched it back to nobody, and Shep scored. That's a game changer right there, as Riley Olsen has been solid here today, but whatever back he thought was on his right side was incognito. Shep was there, and Shep picked that football up and took it in from 45 yards out, and the Aggies lead 14-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. 2-point conversion coming here for Velva. Shep hands it off. Eigelhart cut back. He's not going to get anywhere. And it will stay 14-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. How about that play coming as Ben Shep picked that football up? It was on the ground for the picking, and it was taken by the Aggies down into the end zone. And Ben Shep on the defensive side here today puts one on the board on a big-time play, and one that I would have to assume Hillsboro Central Valley would want back. 14-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. It's the Aggies that score again, this time on the defense. Takes it to the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown. Oh my goodness, Ben Shep on the quarterback miscue.
Finding the right bank can be transformative for your small business. The best bank for your business will offer competitive fees and so much more. At BNC National Bank, our team is proud to offer you a helpful, supportive, above and beyond banking relationship. Starting to stress about the complexities of qualifying for a small business loan? BNC can guide you through the process with much less stress and likely far more success. Speak to one of our team members today.
Sometimes those big plays that you don't see coming are the biggest in playoff football, and that's one of them right there as the Hillsboro quarterback Riley Olson went to pitch that football back. Somebody missed their assignment completely. The ball went right onto the ground, and Ben Shep picked it up, and Shep scampers in to make it 14-0 on the fumble. "45 yards out from Ben Shep. That came at 7:36. Here in quarter number 3, and Velva leads 14-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Burros are back on the offensive attack now as Riley Olson takes the play call. Same play here. They redeem themselves as they get it out here to Hebel, and Hebel's going to be pushed out of bounds at about the line of scrimmage. And the Aggies come up with a stop again as that ball came into the hands of Cole Hebel, who's been good on the year with 14 touchdowns coming into the semifinals here today. But he's pushed out of bounds again by Sandy and company on that left side of the defensive line here for the Velva-Aggies. What corrections did Scott Olson make for his football team? How about Larry Sandy? You add those two guys together and what they've done for 45 years combined in high school football, they know their stuff. Handoff again, this time through the middle. That ball carried here by Landon Olson, and Olson's got a nice gain on the play of 5. 7 minutes, 9 seconds ticks away here in our third quarter. It's Nick Holberg on the call today here in Velva. We sure appreciate you fans for joining us. Again, if you haven't already done so, make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Like and follow us on Facebook and on Twitter, Instagram as well. The more likes and follows, the more promotion we can give to these high school athletes. Falling back to pass, Olson takes a shot downfield, near side, caught that ball. No, that is out of the hands, incomplete, as it was there and then out on the play for Jacob Brandt, the big man on the near sideline. And Brandt was pegged at the end of that play as Bodine went up after him. Kraft was there on the coverage as well. And it brings up a 4th down and 5 coming here for the Burros. And will they punt this ball away? I would have to assume with the way Velva's defense has shut them down here in the ball game. Will they or will they not? Well, that's why I'm not calling the plays. They set it up here. They actually are going to punt this football away as this ball is going to go off of the left foot there. It's towered up from Bowden Allen, and it's going to take another Hillsboro bounce. That's been one bright side on the chart here today for Hillsboro Central Valley. The punting game from Bowden Allen has been big as that ball rolls all the way down to the 10-yard line. And the Aggies go back to work on the offense with 6 minutes and 17 seconds remaining here in our third quarter of football. That rain has let off just a bit now as it started right before the halftime. A cold day here in Velva, 25-mile-an-hour winds and 40 degrees. Makes for a pretty chilly afternoon. It usually does. Aggies on the offense, led by Ben Shep, going to work here. Shep's got one in the backfield. Wideouts on each side as they spread it out, and it's Shep that hands it off. Eigelhart had the carry, and he's going to have a short gain on the play. Sorry, that wasn't Eigelhart. That was Braden Bossert. And Bossert hauled up there with 6:05 to tick away here in quarter number 3. Well, PSP Network will have our schedule released next week for our winter sports and the games that we'll have on the air on the PSP Network. Get ready for a full dose of high school basketball, boys and girls, high school hockey. We'll have some wrestling on this year as well. Ball's taken by Eigelhart to the pitch. Eigelhart gobbled up in a hurry. He's put to the ground of the play, and a nice stop coming there from Peter Dryberg. And Dryberg shuts the door with 5:30 left here in the third quarter. Third down at 7 here for the Aggies, making it 3rd and 8 officially. As the Aggies take the play call from the far sideline. As Kraft will bring that call in. And Kraft delivers it here to the Velva offense. They set up again, this time at the left hash, as the Aggies move from the right to the left on your TV screen in the blue uniforms today. Eigelhart scored first, a minute 1 into the contest. And then a defensive touchdown for the Aggies on the last, or 2 possessions ago for Hillsboro. After the pitch from the quarterback, Olsen, nobody was there. It was picked up from Shep, and he took it to the house for the touchdown to make it 14-0. Point after was no good. And that's where we sit right now here in the ballgame. It's 14-0. Aggies are on top with 4:35 ticking away in quarter number 3. 4th down and short here for the Aggies, but they have Shep back to punt. And on the other side, it's Mitchell that's back to receive here for the Hillsboro Central Valley Burros. Play clock was down to 8, came to Shep, took a look at it, then just punted this one up. That ball's going to drop at the 45-yard line, takes a Velva bounce all the way to the other 45-yard line, and a 10-yard gain there for the Aggies on the punt after it had landed. Hillsboro Central Valley comes back to the field on the offense with their offensive team. And the Burros look for their first points here of the day. When you look at what they've done on the season, they've only been shut out once. That was in their only loss. That came to Kindred in week number 2, all the way back on the 26th of August. They opened their season against Park River area. They won 28-0 there on the 19th of August as the season got started early. Here's the Burros now that look to put points on the board with a first down at 10. Ball's on the 46-yard line. Olsen falls back to pass. Trouble in the pocket. He's going to have that ball stripped from him. It's on the ground. Olsen's after it. And Riley Olsen's going to come up after that forced fumble was there, as the defensive pressure coming from Sandy was monstrous again. Sandy batted the ball out of the hand of the quarterback as he went to throw the football. And it's a loss of 2 yards on the play. And it brings up a second down here for Hillsboro Central Valley. Well, a play like that for the Aggies defensively, they have been stout here today. And Riley Olsen hasn't had a lot of work that has been successful from inside that pocket, because Velva has been like fire-breathing dragons on the defensive side. They come again with Bodine. Forward it comes, and another loss. 2 more yards lost here is with the pitch and catch. The Burros completed it. And they're on the play coming up with the football. That was Halfley, and then Halfley was hit on the play, and there's a Velva player down. And a cramp coming here on the football field. Hopefully he's all right. I believe that's Lackaduk that's down, either him or Holdeman. It's got a 5 on the uniform. It's not Lackaduk because Lackaduk is standing there. It is number 52. Thank you, Drew. Instead, that's Braden Selzler. And Selzler's down. Hopefully it's just a cramp. Trinity Sports Medicine on the field to attend to Selzler. 3 minutes and 4 seconds remains here in the third quarter. Another big defensive stop from the Aggies. Hillsboro's got the ball still when we come back here to Larry Sandy Field.
Smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics. Vibetta Orthodontics is a certified Invisalign provider. Invisalign fits your budget and your lifestyle. Braces for children, teens, and adults with affordable monthly payments. Schedule your complimentary consultation and exam by logging on to VibettaOrthodontics.com or by calling 701-839-6010.
Great smiles come from Vibetta Orthodontics.
Velva fans are at volume with a third down And 11 here for the Burros with the spread offense again. Twins on the left, one on the right, one on the backfield. Riley Olson from the shotgun. Left hash, Olson on the keeper. He goes up the middle, and Velva slams the door again, but not after a gain for Olson. Just about 4 on the play. But the Burros are going to be forced at midfield to put a foot on it again and punt it down to Velva. It leads 14-0 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Tweet at us today at Network PSP. Make sure to follow PSP Network on Twitter. Tweet at us and let us know where you're watching this ball game from today. There is a flag on the play, and the flag will come here. It's going to be on the Burros. Too many participants on the playing field. 12 men were out there for the Burros once the play clock started, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and more yardage here as they're going to fall another 5 yards back. That puts them at a 4th down, and 12 now as they're still going to be forced to punt it here on the 4th down situation. Nobody back for the Aggies. Boots on it again, and Bowden Allen's going to sail that one down. And Bowden Allen really impressive here today again as he sends that one inside the 20-yard line at the 16. And Velva's got field position that's not desirable from back there, but they're going to see what they can do with their offense as it comes back out again, led by the sophomore Ben Shep, the quarterback, who's got a touchdown through the air today, and then he's got another one on the defensive side coming from back in that free safety position here today. And he's been a player here in this Velva campaign that has a lot of talk around him, a player that has a bright future and one that certainly leads Velva to think that their future is very bright with what they're going to bring back again next season here to Larry Sandy Field and inside of Region 3 to raise havoc in western North Dakota. Ball's going to be handed off. It's on the ground, comes back up into the possession there. Stop was made, I believe, that with the carry here for the Aggies. Who was it that had it? It was Bodine, and Peyton Bodine shut down in a hurry there.
Bodine on the fumble recovery, no gain, 2nd and 10.
Second down and 10. 1 minute, 40 seconds ticks away.
Peyton Bodine, excuse me.
Down to 1:35 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. BNC National Bank, your life is busy. We'll make managing your money easy. Locations in North Dakota and Arizona. Visit BNC Bank online, bnc.bank. Velva spreads it out over on the left side as they work from the right hash, and now a flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
We didn't have many penalties in that first half. Legal procedure on the offense. Brings up a second down and 15 now here for Velva. Talk about those Velva names and that early 2000s run from 97 into 2010 where it was just straight dominance from the Velva Aggies. A lot of familiar faces, as we mentioned here in the ballpark here today for this football showdown. I don't think you could stress the pride within the communities of Velva and Hillsboro Central Valley enough. On the keeper, it's Shep that dives forward. He's up to just about the 13-yard line, I do believe. 3rd and 12 coming here for Velva. 37 seconds now ticks down here in the third quarter. Big thanks again to Jersey Mike's, bringing you this week's Player of the Week on the PSP Network. Jersey Mike Subs is a sub above. Big thanks again to Jersey Mike's. And another congratulations to Peyton Bodine, the Player of the Week on the PSP Network here from the Velva Aggies. Shep falls back to pass, looks downfield, rushes out of the pocket, over to the right side, has company, look out. He's going to throw that football away as he was taken to the ground and hard. And the old grass here in Velva, not quite as soft as it usually is, as old Mother Nature has it pretty chilly here today. He goes down hard for no loss on the play, brings up a 4th down, and the Aggies are going to be forced to punt this one away with a 14-0 lead on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Planet Pizza has been proudly serving the Magic City for over 25 years. We want to thank them again here today. Mouth-watering pizza and chicken wings. Planet Pizza, is out of this world. 852-1700. Call Planet Pizza right now. They'll deliver to you today. If you're watching this game on the PSP Network, oh, did that touch the player? It may have. The ball's going to come back into the possession here of the Aggies, and it's Reggie Bruner that's got it. Aggie fans thought that football was touched there from Mitzel, as Mitzel had that one go through his hands, and it looked like Reggie Bruner might have had an opportunity as the Aggie fans came to volume. Bruner just fell on it, and the ball will be marked here at the 43-yard line as the Aggies go back to defense, and the Burros from Hillsboro Central Valley come back onto the offensive side of the football. Kindred got upset. The number one team in the state of North Dakota coming into the semifinals or into the quarterfinals, they were upset. And with them being upset the way they were, it sets things up for somebody besides Kindred to win a state championship this year, as Kindred won it last year. As we take a look at that playoff bracket again, Velva drank Animus Garrison, got through Dickinson Trinity. Hillsboro Central Valley got through Oaks, and right now with 1 quarter remaining as we approach the fourth quarter now, it's the Aggies on top 14-0. Beulah and Central Cass playing in the other semifinal. Will it be the Miners or will it be the Squirrels heading into the state championship? Last we heard, Central Cass was ahead by a score in that ball game. We'll see if we can get a full update for you to find out who's going to play for the Dakota Bowl here in 2022 in 11B football playoffs. Time for our fourth quarter here on the PSP Network. Again, Dick Holberg on the call. Glad to have you fans aboard here today for this playoff matchup. As the Burros are on offense, they go to work with the handoff. It's Olsen on the carry. Olsen's going to bust free over to the near side, and Olsen's going to cut it over the 40, down to the 35, to the 30-yard line, and Olsen's got a big gain on the play. And another big run play there for Olsen, the biggest of the second half. And it is a first down and 10 as Landon Olsen carried that football through traffic, made a move, hit the seam, then got to the edge over on the near sidelines. And it's a first down and 10 here for Central Valley Hillsboro as they go to work with a spread offense again. One on the shotgun or one under center. That's the quarterback, Riley Olsen. Two in the backfield. Wideouts on each side from the left half. Ball at the 30-yard line. Keeper from Olsen. He's gobbled up again. And the Aggie defense is there. And Peyton Bodine's the one that shut the door again for the Aggies as 11:39 ticks away here in the ballgame. Hillsboro Central Valley approaching the time of this ball game where they don't have a whole lot of time left. To my mind, it's a must-score situation right here. Gain of 1 on the play. Ball's at the 28-yard line. Handed off again. Landon Olsen trying to cut free. Hits a defender. He's up into the Serve Pro red zone. And Hillsboro's into the red zone for the first time here today on their offense. Serve Pro brings you the red zone coverage here today. Serve Pro for fire and water, cleanup and restoration. It's Serve Pro. Here come the Hillsboro Central Valley Burros. Ball marked at the left hash. Two in the backfield, one on each side as the wideouts here as Riley Olsen takes it here, hands it off again. Guess who? Landon Olsen. That time he has nowhere to go as the Velva defensive line closed the door. In with help on that tackle for the Aggies was number 20, Hank Bodine. And the one that comes up from the pile that got him first, I believe, was Tyler Holdeman. And Holdeman will get the credit on the play. 10.5 ticks down. If you haven't booked your rooms in Fargo yet, we highly recommend it. Come support these kids at the Dakota Bowl. One of these teams will be there. One of them will have their season come to an end here today. Formation has two wideouts now on the right side. From the left hash, on the keeper, this ball's pitched back. Landon Olsen's got it. He's going to run forward. Lackaduk took him down. Will he be close to a first down here? The ball's marked at the 12-yard line. And not quite. It's going to bring up a third down. And still 3 to go here for Hillsboro. Game reset today brought to you by Roger Ward Moving and Storage. Proudly serving the region with moving and storage help since 1942. Eigelhart scored first on a pass coming from Ben Shep. Just a minute 1 into the ball game. 61 yards out to make it 8-0 on the 2-point conversion. Oh, a high snap goes over the head of Olson. And that's going to be costly here for Hillsboro Central Valley as the ball got over Riley Olson's head as it was snapped back from Caleb Adelstead. And a big loss on the play brings up a 4th down and just about 16 to go now. It is a 4th and 16 here for Hillsboro. The next score in the ball game, by the way, came in the 3rd quarter. 7:36 remained, and it was a little pinch play that came away from Riley Olson. Nobody was there. The ball went on the ground, and Shep picked it up and took it in. Every Velva fan's on their feet here. This one to the corner of the end zone, up into the end zone, touchdown. Hillsboro Central Valley's on the board as that one completed. Riley Olson sends it down into the end zone, and Dylan Mitchell goes up after it, and the touchdown is there for the Burros. They're on the board. Make that Peter Dryberg, excuse me. Either way, a touchdown for the Burros. Burros get on the board for the first time here today. 14-6. Hillsboro's going to go for the point after attempt coming here. Bowden Allen on to kick the point after. It's up, has plenty of distance. Velva saying no good. It is no good as it missed. Wide left. 14-6 on the BNC Bank scoreboard. Hillsboro's not going to be shut out here today as that one from Riley Olson connected with Peter Dryberg. And the Burros are on the board.
Many of our clients come to us already accomplished in their lives and on the right track. However, whether it's in response to a life-changing event or you are nearing retirement, you can sleep well knowing that together we have planned for both life's opportunities and challenges. And no matter what happens, we are here to help guide you.
Dryberg from Olson on the connection, and Hillsboro's on the board for the first time today. Point after was no good. We've got 8:43 left here in quarter number 4, and it's officially crunch time here in this ball game as Hillsboro Central Valley gets their first points of the contest, and now it's officially a dogfight here in Velva. Ball's kicked off, back to the Aggies. It's going to come all the way back into Velva's possession here deep in their own territory. Eric Martin's ahead, and Martin's up over the 30-yard line all the way to the 34 for the gain on the return. And the Aggies come back out on the offensive side of the football with 8:39 left here in regulation. Well, big players show up in big games, and the young man by the name of Ben Shep coming out to lead the Velva offense here again with a pair of touchdowns today, one through the air to Eigelhart, one on the defensive side of the ball. Can he lead Velva to the promised land as they try to add more points for a cushion here? Because knocking on the door is Hillsboro Central Valley with their most recent score to just change the whole tone of this football game today here in Velva. Shep from center. Pistol formation, handed off here. Bodine bumps into the lead blocker. Then he's going to be pushed forward. He's going to gain a few on the play.
Number 11.
Stop was made there coming from the Burros, and it was Dylan Mitchell that made the stop there for the road team. Got a timeout coming on the field, I do believe, here. No, there wasn't. They're going to just... Not sure what the call was. Now we're in play. They reset the game clock. They reset the play clock at 20 seconds now. Faking the handoff. Shep's going to roll it out to the right side. Looks downfield. Shep's going to gain plenty on this play, almost to the first down marker as Shep was taken down there by Jack Madsen. And Jack Madsen's had himself a ball game here today on the defensive side for Hillsboro Central Valley. First down there for Ben Shep, and Shep marches that football up to the 43-yard line. On their side of the field, as the Aggies will bring the play call in, Larry Sandy delivered the call to Kraft. And Preston Kraft, with 6 touchdowns of his own on the year, delivers the play call into the offense. As they come up to the line, Tyler Hold'em in the center with Shep from right behind him. Motion man is Eigelhart. Fake the handoff. It goes to Bodine. Bodine's going to cut. He's going to get up to the 45 before he's hauled down. And the stop again from the line coming there. And again, Jack Madson's in on top of it. Riley Olson came up with a stop as well. 7 minutes, 13 seconds ticks away in regulation. State championship berth on the line. It doesn't get any more intense than this. A 1-score lead here for Velva. They're on their home field looking for their first appearance in the Dakota Bowl and a championship in the Dakota Bowl since 2010. Shep now steps up. Twins on the right side. Motion man is Eigelhart. He's going to take it. Eigelhart's going to cut. He's got some room here. Eigelhart's going to break free. Eigelhart cuts it free at the 40-yard line, trying to unhook the plow over the 30 all the way into the red zone. And Eigelhart does it again here for the Aggies as he takes that football with a big-time run from his own 46 down into the Serve Pro red zone with the ball at the 18-yard line. And the Aggies march it down the field and have a scoring opportunity and a fresh set of downs. 14-6, Velva on top. A touchdown here would be huge in this ball game. We haven't pulled out too many broadcasting cliches here today, but that certainly is one that holds true with some value here. Twins on the left side, one in the backfield. Set up from the left hash, ball at the 18-yard line of the Burros. Handed off here, it's Bodine, breaking free, goes to the far sideline, first down. And Bodine's got the football deep inside the Serve Pro red zone here. Going to say the ball came out. That's what Hillsboro Central Valley saying. On the near sideline, it's not. It's Velva football. And the Aggies have a first down and goal. 6:15 to play in regulation. Serve Pro bringing you the red zone. 24/7 emergency service, trained technicians, advanced technology for fire and water, cleanup and restoration. It is Serve Pro. Well, they send one way out to the right side. That man on the near side is Eric Martin. Velva's going to come back here to a quick huddle. There's going to be a conversation on the field. Play clock at 25. They're going to change the amount of time on the game clock, I believe is what the call is from the official here. It's at 6:11 right now. 6 minutes, 11 seconds on that game clock with a 14-6 lead for the Aggies. And hopefully somebody up here in the press box knows the sign language that the head official has here. They do. They change it to 6 minutes and 22 seconds remaining here in regulation. Aggies fans are at volume again. They set up on the left hash. Eigelhart on the right side. It's Kraft on the left. Bodine in the backfield. As the call comes here from the quarterback, it's a pitch back to Bodine. He cuts to his left, comes back to his right. Bodine's going to try to dance on in. Touchdown. Peyton Bodine's got his 11th score of the season, and the Aggies lead by 2 touchdowns. Well, Peyton Bodine had nowhere to go on his left side. He came back to his right and danced on in, and the Aggies now lead 20-6 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Bodine from the 5-yard line. And Bodine runs it in for number 11 on the season. Ball's on the ground. There is flags on the play. Hank Bodine ended up with the football, but the play was whistled dead on the 2-point conversion play coming here as the Aggies score with 6 minutes and 16 seconds remaining in quarter number 4. Velva scored first and second. Then Hillsboro scored third. Then Velva scored the last touchdown, a 5-yard scamper from Bodine, but there was an offsides play. And that's going to march the Aggies back 5 yards here on their 2-point conversion attempt. Play clock's down to 10 seconds. As that play clock continues to wind down, they're going to need to hurry up here. Play clock at 6, now 5. at 4-3. They get it off, and it's going to be Shep that fires through the middle into the hands, then out, incomplete. And that's where we'll stand after the play. 20-6 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Velva's on top. They're in the driver's seat here of this one today, and the Aggies are trying to get back to Fargo next week in the Dakota Bowl. They look good right now here with a 26 lead over Hillsboro Central Valley. The Burros get the ball back when we come back to the Star City. Comes back to his right. Bodine's going to try to dance on in. Touchdown. Peyton Bodine's got his 11th score of the season, and the Aggies lead by 2 touchdowns.
Ackerman Esvold, your neighbors, friends, and family who are working for you. The local team with local availability and accountability for all of your engineering, architecture, environmental, transportation, and land development needs. Your project can rely on Ackerman Esvold. Find them online at ackermanesvold.com. When you start your project, talk with Ackerman Surveying and Associates. Our experienced surveying team guides you in the right direction with planning, platting, and lot and boundary surveys. The trusted name in land surveying, the trusted name in architecture and engineering is Ackerman Surveying and Ackerman Esvold. Find them at ackermanesvold.com.
We come back after Velva kicked the football off after their most recent score, a 5-yard touchdown run, and the 11th touchdown of the year for Peyton Bodine to put the score at 26. Velva on top here in the state semis, leading Hillsboro Central Valley today on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Again, Nick Holberg here on the call today. Glad to have you folks aboard watching this showdown. Join us for Dakota Bowl coverage next week on the PSP Network. We'll have every game from the Fargo Dome. Myself, Todd Domries, Chuck Claremont, and Scott Woodmansey on the call, coming from the home of the Bison next Friday. Pitch and catch is there, and the Burros are going to pick up a first down, and hard to the ground goes Mitzel. He's on the ground in all sorts of pain here for Hillsboro Central Valley. Hopefully he's going to be all right. We're going to take an injury timeout coming here. Hate to see it. Mitzel's down. Hopefully he'll be all right.
We look forward to serving you here at your local community bank.
PSP Network has one mission: promoting local athletes. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Well, the applause is for Mitzel. He's up and walking on the sidelines here for Hillsboro Central Valley. Glad to see that he is okay. It's the Burros with the football and a first down and 10 on the keeper from Olsen. He is gobbled up as Bodine took him down. And Bodine helps the quarterback up on the opposing side with some good sportsmanship. That kid's the real deal, isn't he? Peyton Bodine, 11 touchdowns on the year, a two-way player that does it all here for the Velva-Aggies. Even has the character counts and the sportsmanship involved in his game. Gotta like to see it. Here comes Hillsboro Central Valley from midfield. Off the shotgun, ball's taken here to the near side. Run up the near sidelines. Big hit there as that one was connected to Dryberg, who's got the touchdown here for Hillsboro Central Valley. But not much of a gain, if any, on the play. They're actually right back at the line of scrimmage, and a third down and 10 coming here. 5 minutes, 14 seconds ticking down here in the season for one of these two football teams. Velva's got the more comfortable position right now. They lead here in the ball game by a score of 20-6 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. 3 in the backfield. They're going to look to pass. Olsen downfield, near sideline. That one's up. It was picked off, but out of bounds on the play from Braden Bossert in the secondary coverage there. And Bossert pleads his case, but he was out of bounds. See him on the bottom of the screen there telling his teammates, hey, that was play of the week on the PSP Network. Where's the credit at? They're going to say that he stepped out of bounds before he caught the football, I should say. Here come the Burros. 4:49 left here in the ball game. They're going to be forced to punt this ball away in any other circumstance, but since they're trailing the way they are with under 5 to play, they're going to go for it. Riley Olson rolls out, fires far side, complete, and a first down. That ball went into the hands on the far side, and Cody Rage has the football as the first down is completed, as it's do or die time here for Hillsboro Central Valley, trailing by 14 points on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Aggies with a 2-score lead. Play clock down to 20. Defense chant is on. Well, there'd be a lot of blue and yellow inside the Fargo Dome next week if Velva and Beulah can get to the big dance. They played earlier on this year, and it was Velva that took care of the Beulah Miners 30-19. There's a flag on the play as the flags come out everywhere. It's going to be a false start on the offense as that one came out of the hands of the center, Caleb Adelstead. And that's going to march him back 5 yards. A costly penalty there here in this ball game for Hillsboro Central Valley. Well, it's North Dakota High School football playoff weather here in Velva. If you're just joining us today, 25-mile-an-hour winds. A little slight drizzle off and on here today. Temperature falling under 40 degrees. Back to pass. Riley Olson has an open man. Uncovered was Dylan Mitzel, but he missed him on the toss. Second down at 15 coming here for Hillsboro Central Valley. Big thanks again to our friends at the UPS store located on South Broadway in Minot. They're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 7, Saturday, 8:30 to 3. The UPS store located in the Marketplace Foods Plaza for all your packing and shipping needs. It's the UPS store. Big thanks again to Josh Cattell, Michael Borman at Hub International Insurance, largest North American insurance brokerage for all your personal and business insurance needs. Hillsboro Central Valley wants to call a timeout. That's what they'll do here. We've had ourselves a ball game today on the PSP Network. And right now it's Velva on top of this one in the showdown. Hillsboro Central Valley looking for a solution to the Aggies defense. 3:49 is what remains here in the ball game. Can the Burros draw something up?
All right, bring it up. Come on. Someone's got to call a play. All right, let's go. I right, zoom, spider 2, Y banana. You don't like that one? Okay. I right 40 power? No. Don't want that one either? All right, go kick off. Get out of here. Let's go.
First Western is your independent community bank with all the online conveniences you want and an experienced team you can count on. First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
Get a nice look at that crowd in Velva here today. It is a packed house for the state 11B semifinals here in the Star City. There's going to be a conversation with the head official coming over to talk to Scott Olson right now on the near sideline. Scott Olson's got the shorts on here today. All the coaching staff for Hillsboro Central Valley in shorts. Paying homage to the football gods here today in Velva. They've got to be chilly, I guarantee you that. Cold day here today in Velva. Hillsboro looking to get hot here at the end of it. That ball's going to be batted away. They're going to say incomplete pass as Olson got it off. Somebody on that line came up with the stop. I believe it might have been Sandy that got the arm in the way. It was actually going to be 52, I do believe, that comes up with the play. Braden Selzler. According to the body language from Sandy and Selzler there, that would be my guess. Third down and a long 15 to go here for Hillsboro Central Valley as their season is in the looms right now, looming here with a 20-6 deficit that they're trying to come back from. Trips on the right, Twins on the left. Olsen from the shotgun. Olsen on the keeper, he runs it forward. Big yards here, he's all the way up almost to the first down marker before Eigelhart got into him there. Sorry, make that Ben Shep rather. They mark the football at the 38-yard line, it looks like here, and it's going to be a 4th down and 2. Season on the line as time starts to wear down. 3:19 ticks away here. Aggies fans are on their feet here in Velva again. Here come the Hillsboro offense. Trips this time on the left. Twins on the right from the shotgun. Quick hitter near side. That one to Range, and Range is going to bust free all the way up over the 35, and a first down there for Hillsboro Central Valley. And the chains move, and the Burros now have a first down and 10. Well, they need to get into the end zone. Then they need to work on an onside kick here because Velva, with timeouts remaining and a 2-score lead, is in command of this ball game right now. First down and 10. Dropping back to pass. Olsen looked to take a shot. He's going to have to run it here. Look out. Olsen hit there by Peyton Bodine, and tracking him from behind was Kyle Sandy. He gains 4 or 5 on the play. They're going to call it 5. And now it's a second down and 5 with 2:30 ticking away here in regulation. Man, if you can't get up for playoff football in the semifinals with a trip to the Dakota Bowl, I don't know. Olsen downfield corner. That one went into the hands of the defensive coverage for Braden Bossert. Incomplete the pass. And that brings up a 3rd down here for the Burros. 2 minutes, 19 seconds is what's left on the game clock. Play clock down to 25 seconds, ticking down here. It's 20-6, Velva leading on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Stick around for our Shots Crossroads Planning Team Financial Advisors postgame show. We'll have our MVP of the contest brought to you by our friends at Sport Clips. We'll also have our move of the game brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. Riley Olsen rolls out right side, plenty of time, down the field, into the red zone they go. That ball for Mitchell into the end zone, but he was hauled up before he got there as Dylan Mitchell comes up with a giant play, and it will be a first down and goal coming here for the Burros as that play all generated from Riley Olsen's patience in the pocket. Once he rolled out and scampered over to the right, he found Mitchell, and now it's a first down and goal as the ball's marked inside the 5-yard line. Handled here by the quarterback on the keeper, trying to push his way in, waiting for the official sign, and he's going to be short. Second down and goal coming here now for the Burros with the ball marked at the 1.5-yard line. This is a huge play in this ball game. That can go without being said here as we know what's on the line. Oh my goodness, over the top. A play that comes in as Hank Bodine towered up over his defensive line and shut the quarterback down, but there are flags on the play. 1:39 left here in the ball game. Where will the flag come into play here as the gentleman in the white hat comes here? Face mask, the penalty, half the distance to the goal, and that's going to put him at just about the 1-yard line. That stopped the clock with 1:39 remaining. How about that play from Hank Bodine towering over the defensive line to stop the quarterback? Here's a handoff. Oh, the big man runs it up the middle into the end zone for a touchdown. And the points are registered as carrying that ball in was Jake Swanson. And Swanson takes it in for the Burros, and they're back within a score. Well, the Burros not done yet here in this showdown as they get on the board with 6 more points, and now it's 20-12 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Hang on tight here in this one. On for the point after attempt comes Bowden Allen, who has been very good here in this ball game with his punting and point after duties. That time he's going to send it wide right, and he missed. Better at the punting today than the point after, I should say, as that one went up from Allen, and for the second time he misses the point after. 20-12 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. There's 1:36 remaining here in regulation. Don't go anywhere. It's just getting good at Velva. Expect an onside kick when we come back.
Stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move? It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Point. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a sport clip stylist.
Here?
That's a spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Hillsboro Central Valley, a team that has been in the Dakota Bowl 4 times since 2017 when they won it last. They win in 17, 18, 19, and they were there last year. They lost to Kindred in the state title game. Their season's going to boil down to an onside kick coming here in Velva, North Dakota, and a big time play coming here. The hands team is out for Velva. Same with Hillsboro Central Valley. 8-point lead here for the Aggies with 1:36 remaining. You can do the math and know that this is the big play of the game and the season on the line. Did they jump early? That ball's going to go into the possession of the Aggies. And Velva's got the football. 1:36 left here in the showdown. Larry Sandy's got timeouts. It was Bodine that had the recovery. First down and 10 here for the Aggies. They take the play call from Casey Kwame on the far sidelines. He delivers it in. And the Velva fans remain on their feet here on their home field. Velva fans come to volume again. 19 seconds on the play clock. Velva's going to run the football here as they're going to hand it off to Bodine. He's going to cut free on the far side, and Bodine up ahead. He's got 5 yards on the play. As the clock stops as he ran it out of bounds over on the far sideline.
Gain of 5, second and 5.
Second down and 5 with 1:28 remaining. Ball's marked at the 45-yard line, Hillsboro Central Valley side of the field. Play clock down to 15. Trying to keep the ball in play here to keep that clock running down are the Aggies. Shep hands it off again. This is Bodine here to the near side. He's going to bust free from a tackle. Now another. He's up to the 40. And he's pushed forward, and a big gain after the initial stop there as Bodine's going to bring it all the way back up over the 40-yard line. We're down to 1:17 remaining here in regulation. With the first down, the game clock stops. We're at 1:17 right now. They're going to set the sticks on the far sideline. And the Burros are going to call a timeout here. 20-12 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Velva on top.
All right, bring it up. Come on. Someone's got to call a play. All right, let's go. Eye right, zoom, spider 2, Y banana. You don't like that one? Okay. Eye right, 40 power? No. You don't want that one either? All right, go kick off. Get out of here. Let's go.
First Western is your independent community bank with all the online conveniences you want and an experienced team you can count on. First Western Bank and Trust. You can bank on us.
Scott Olson called a timeout for Hillsboro Central Valley. 12th year head coach of the Burros, trying everything he can here in this ball game, trying to pick up his 107th career win. He's on the wrong side of about to fall to 106-14. Aggies are going to call a timeout now as they swap timeouts here with 1:17 remaining in regulation. It's been a fun one today on the PSP Network. Finale of it coming up when we come back.
Fire damage, Agent Fred Iron. From burnt to unburnt, he does that. It's water. Boom. Agent Winston Otter. He's been called the human sponge.
Well, we got an update here. Central Cass over Beulah. And that showdown today, that's going to put Central Cass into the big dance. Ben Shep doing that right now for the Aggies as he takes a knee. And the Burros call another timeout here with 1:13 remaining. It'll be a second down and 10 here for Velva. As the Burros have another conversation on the near sideline, we'll take another quick step aside as well. Aggies and Ben Shep trying to put a cap on it here today in the Star City.
We look forward to serving you here at your local community bank.
PSP Network has one mission: promoting local athletes. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Well, Ben Shep puts the knee down, and the players start to pay tributes to each other here with 1:02 remaining. 2 downs remain. They're going to let that play clock go all the way down underneath, all the way down to the wire here, I should say. It's at 20 seconds right now, as it's just a formality here in Velva as the Aggies are on their way to the Dakota Bowl here in 2022. Larry Sandy's been there, and he hasn't lost. More impressive is the fact that Velva's won that Dakota Bowl championship in 97, 2000, 01, 03, 04, 05, 06, 9, and 10. They've won it 9 times since 1997. 9 victories in the Dakota Bowl, and they go back in 2022. Velva, Drake, Animus, Garrison, book your rooms for Fargo because the Aggies are going to the big dance Dakota Bowl to take on Central Cass coming up next Friday on the home field of the NDSU Bison as the fans rush the field and the classmates of the Aggies go out to celebrate a 20-12 victory here for the Velva Aggies. When we come back, our Shots Crossroads Planning Team Financial Advisors postgame show. We'll tell you how they did it here today as the Aggies win by 8 over Hillsboro Central Valley, a darn good football team in North Dakota 11B football. Aggies are victorious. They'll play for a state title next Friday. We'll have coverage for you on the PSP Network. Time for our postgame show brought to you by Shots Crossroads and Planning Team Financial Advisors.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Oh, easy, easy. I think I'm good. You got my good side, right? Not too many lights. I don't want to get fried before my time. Oh, it's egg-tastic. You never know what dish you're going to end up in. My dream dish is a 99. It's so popular. Me and a fellow egg tag teaming with some crispy golden hash browns. Have you seen those hash browns? Those guys are shredded. Throw in some diced ham, onions, and melted cheese. Oh, it's a party for your taste buds. Oh, here comes Chevy. Hold on, Chevy. Did you guys get everything that you needed? 99. Here I come. Shots Crossroads. It's an excellent place to eat.
It's time for the Shots Crossroads and Planning Team Financial Advisors postgame show. Now for a look at game stats and analysis. Let's go to the postgame show.
Victorious on their home field. The Aggies from Velva play for the Dakota Bowl and the state championship next Friday when they take on the Central Cass Squirrels next Friday at the Dakota Bowl. Welcome into our Shots Crossroads and Planning Team Financial Advisors postgame show. Shots Crossroads and Planning Team Financial Advisors proud to support North Dakota High School athletics. Shots Crossroads home to the famous number 99 where team buses are always welcome at Shots Crossroads. Stop in there today after this showdown where Velva takes care of Hillsboro Central Valley by a score of 20-12. Planning Team Financial Advisors brings you the post-game show today, as always, as well. Planning Team Financial Advisors, whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession. Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Planning Team Financial Advisors brings you the post-game here today with Shots Crossroads. Well, we look at the 11B playoff picture, and it is set. The table is fully prepared for next Friday's Dakota Bowl State Championship. Central Cass takes care of Beulah, the Miners, today 28-6. They're in. Velva Drake Animus Garrison takes care of Hillsboro Central Valley by a score of 20-12, and they're in. And we're going to have ourselves a dogfight between the Squirrels and the Aggies next Friday, live from the Fargo Dome. We'll have coverage of that for you on the PSP Network. Hope you join us for that. It should be a great day of coverage. I'll be there along with Chuck Claremont, Todd Domries, and Scott Woodmansey. Live from the Fargo Dome. I'll have the call of the Velva game against Central Cass next Friday in Fargo. That should be a good one. Join us for a full day of coverage. We go nonstop that day. It ends up being quite a day of high school football, and 4 state champions will be crowned here in 2022. Will it be the Velva Aggies who get by Hillsboro Central Valley today? A lot of the people in blue and yellow today would like to think that that will be the case. They were good today here on their home field. Windy conditions in a ball game that had a little bit of everything. Time for a game reset. Brought to you by our friends at Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads. Planning Team Financial Advisors, Shots Crossroads bring you a look back at the ball game. It started right off the hop today for the Velva Aggies. 1 minute, 1 seconds into it, it was Ben Shep that found Eigelhart, 61 yards, and a little pass and catch that Eigelhart took to the house. 2-point conversion was good. 8-0 Aggies led at that point. That's where we went all the way into our halftime break, where it was 8-0 at the half, and then in the third quarter, at 7:36 to play, a fumble from Shep, fumble recovery from Shep, off the hands of Riley Olson. He fell back, and they had the option play designed. There was nobody there in the tailback position, and the ball went right onto the ground, and it was picked up by Shep. 45 yards later, he's in the end zone for a touchdown. Point after and 2-point conversion, no good. 14-0 Aggies. Then Hillsboro Central Valley found themselves in the end zone for the first time in the fourth quarter. 8:43 remained in the ball game. 25 yards out. It was a pass from Olson to Dryberg, and he went into the end zone to score to make it 14-6. Point after was missed by Bowden Allen. Then in the fourth quarter, it was Bodine from 5 yards out to make it 26. Wasn't 20-6. Wasn't quite the nail in the coffin, but for Bodine, it was his 11th touchdown of the year. Then Hillsboro Central Valley made it interesting. They get a point late in the contest and a score to make it 20-12. It was Jake Swanson that ran it in, the big man, the bulldozer that took it down into the end zone. Onside kick was there. Bodine recovered the football for the Aggies. And then 4 plays later on the kneel down in victory formation, it was Ben Shep and company that gave Velva the victory today, 20-12 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. We'll come back with our player of the game. We'll bring you that, brought to you by our friends at Sport Clips of Modern and Bismarck. Then we'll also take a look at our Jobbers Moving and Storage move of the game here today. We'll have that when we come back to our planning team at Shots postgame show. Aggies are going to the Dakota Bowl. Get your rooms booked in Fargo. It's going to be a fun one next Friday. They look to get their first state championship banner hung since 2010.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Our stylists are trained to understand the nuances of cutting men's hair. Less pomp, more adore, huh, Brittany?
Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Cowlick, what's the move?
It's not just all about hard work here.
Hit all. 7. Pressure. Points. Yeah.
It takes expertise to be a Sport Clip stylist.
Here?
That's a spot. Right there, huh?
Sport Clips, the pros in men's hair.
Are you moving your business or your home across the town or across the country? We know it can be stressful. To ensure your possessions arrive on time, intact, and on budget, make your move with Jobbers Moving and Storage. Jobbers can help you with every aspect of your move. With our efficient step-by-step approach to move management, we can tailor a plan to suit your needs and schedule. With locations in Bismarck, Fargo, Minot, and Aberdeen, Jobbers Moving and Storage is your choice. Visit jobberswarehouse.com. It's Jobbers Moving and Storage.
Oh, easy, easy. I think I'm good. You got my good side, right? Not too many lights. I don't want to get fried before my time. Oh, it's egg-tastic. You never know what dish you're going to end up in. My dream dish is a 99. It's so popular. Me and a fellow egg tag teaming with some crispy golden hash browns. Have you seen those hash browns? Those guys are shredded. Throw in some diced ham, onions, and melted cheese. Oh, it's a party for your taste buds. Oh, here comes Chevy. Hold on, Chevy. Did you guys get everything that you needed? 99. Here I come. Shots Crossroads. It's an excellent place to eat.
Well, Larry Sandy just got dumped with a Gatorade jug full of water on a very chilly day here in Velva. As you see the community celebrating with the Aggies here today. Sandy in his 33rd year. Probably doesn't mind a little Gatorade jug of water on top of him here today after the Aggies take care of Hillsboro Central Valley 2012 on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. It's our Planning Team Financial Advisor, Shots Crossroad postgame show. Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com. Don't forget to get fueled up at Shots Crossroads after the game. Their famous menu includes the delicious number 99. Order online, shotscrossroads.com. Remember, team buses are always welcome. And, oh, by the way, if you don't try a caramel roll or that banana cream pie for your sweet tooth, I'm telling you, you're missing out. Central Cass takes care of Beulah today, 28-6. Velva beats Hillsboro Central Valley, 20-12. That means that the Squirrels and the Aggies play in the Dakota Bowl next week. How did Velva get there today? Well, let's start with our move of the game, brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. Whether you're moving across town or across the country, Jobbers can help you with your moving and storage needs. Jobbers has locations in Bismarck, Minot, Fargo, and Aberdeen. Find a quote. Schedule a move. You can do it all at jobberswarehouse.com. Time for our move of the game here today. And You know, when you look at a minute one in and a play from Ben Shep to Eigelhart and 61 yards into the house for a touchdown before anybody could even say Charlie Brown in this place, I think that has to be a clear candidate for our move of the game today. Brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. Congratulations, Shep and Eigelhart, 61 yards. Good enough for our move of the game. Brought to you by Jobbers Moving and Storage. Again, moving across town or across the country, Jobbers can help you. Your moving and storage needs. Locations in Bismarck, Minot, Fargo, and Aberdeen. It's jobberswarehouse.com. How do you pick this one today? It's time for our MVP of the contest here on the PSP Network. And this MVP decision, a tough one here today because there's plenty of kids in this ball game on both sides of the football that deserve a lot of credit. I thought defensively today, the way Peyton Bodine played was very impressive. He had a touchdown today. Eigelhart defensively was big today as well. That linebacking core for Velva is tough. Selzler, Bodine, and Eigelhart. Hank Bodine on the defensive side. And the secondary from Velva, for that matter, of Shep, Kraft, Bossert, and Bruner. I don't know. Then you got Sandy, Lackaduk, Bodine up front, and Holdeman. They were all good. Honorable mention's going to go to the defensive line here for the Aggies today because those guys were athletic. They played hard. They didn't give Central Valley, Hillsboro much here today. Honorable mention to them, but my star of the game today with a defensive and offensive touchdown is the quarterback with good clock management, good field possession here today. It's the quarterback, Ben Shep, our MVP of the game, brought to you by Sports Clips Haircuts of Minot Bismarck. Sports Clips brings you the MVP. Sports Clips is the home to the MVP haircut experience. Nothing comes close to making you feel like the MVP, quite like the MVP experience at Sport Clips. Again, Ben Shep, our MVP. Sports Clips will keep you looking your best. Check in online with a hairstylist today at Sport Clips of Minot and Bismarck. One more time as we take a look at the graphic of how these teams got into the Dakota Bowl. And it started off with Velva, Drake, Adamus, Garrison taking down Bowman County. Last week on their home field again, they beat Trinity. Now they beat Hillsboro Central Valley to get into the big dance. Central Cass beat Botno. Then they took down number 1 Kindred. They beat number 4 Beulah. Now they've got number 2 Velva to take into the Fargo Dome and go head-to-head with next Friday. We will have coverage of that showdown on the PSP Network. I'll have the call of it with Chuck Claremont coming up next Friday. And don't forget that we'll have coverage of every single game at the Dakota Bowl coming up next Friday. Don't miss a single play. Scott Woodmansey, Todd Domrys, Chuck Claremont, Nick Holberg, that's me. We'll be on the call for wall-to-wall coverage coming up from the Fargo Dome next Friday. Join us on the PSP Network on all social media platforms to stay up to date with what we've got brewing on the PSP Network. It's another busy week next week. Dakota Bowl coverage, state cheer competition, and a figure skating show of all things coming up next Sunday after Dakota Bowl coverage. What a pleasure to call these games here in the Star City for playoff football. We'll travel with the Aggies to go off to the Fargo Dome next week. Hillsboro, it's a lot to be proud of here today, by the way. 10-2 for a record overall in the season. They only lost to Kindred and Velva, the teams that were ranked 1 and 2 on the year all season long. Burros have a lot to be proud of. So do the Aggies. They're unbeaten heading into the state championship. They go to 12-0 on the season. Can the Aggies pick up their 10th state title since 1997 and 11th all-time as they won one back in 1983? We're going to find out Friday. What a joy it was here today. Thanks to all those sponsors that make these broadcasts possible. Without them, we wouldn't be here. Big thanks to Drew Carlson again today, helping produce our show and run our video camera today on the PSP Network. Final score one more time on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. The Aggies down the Burros 20-12 in a shootout here today in Velva. Nick Holberg signing off. Until next week, please have a great weekend. Be safe. Whatever you do, make sure tonight you have a good night, and God bless.
Wow.
PSP Network has one mission: promoting local athletes. Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network. It's game day.